Welcome to our explainer. Today, we're jumping into something that can feel like a real maze for a lot of people. Getting a U.S. Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, or ITIN. We're going to focus on the two kinds of expert guides the IRS lets you use, and how picking the right one can change, well, everything. Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. The whole thing kicks off because you need to file U.S. taxes, but you're not eligible for a Social Security number. The IRS solution? An ITIN. Simple enough, right? But there's a catch. A really big one that makes a lot of people nervous. And there it is. That's the part that stops people in their tracks. You have to put your original passport or other super important ID documents in the mail and send them off to the IRS. And you can probably guess why putting your passport in an envelope is a major dilemma for most people. So, how long are we talking about? Well, during the busiest time of year, from about January to April, the IRS says you could be waiting up to 11 weeks. Yeah, 11. That's almost 3 months without your main ID, without the document you need to travel. For a lot of folks, that's just not an option. Okay, but what if there was another way? This is where things get really interesting. The IRS knew this was a problem, so they created something called the Acceptance Agent Program. They authorize other people to help you out. But, and this is the most important part, these helpers come in two very different flavors. So first step, you've got your standard acceptance agent, or just AA. You can think of an AA as a really knowledgeable assistant. They'll help you get your application perfect, make sure the forms are all filled out right, but they still have to play by the old rules. They have to mail your original passport to the IRS for you. And then we have the Certifying Acceptance Agent, or CAA. Now, a CAA can do everything an AA can do, but they have one extra power that is an absolute game changer. They are authorized by the IRS to check and authenticate your documents themselves. That means your passport never even goes in the mail. You get it back right away. You know, this is the perfect way to think about it. A COA is basically like a super specialized notary. The IRS trusts them to vouch for your documents, so the IRS doesn't need to see the originals themselves. It's a huge deal. All right, let's really zero in on this, because this one single difference in how your documents are handled, well, it affects everything else down the line. So it really boils down to this simple question. Does your passport get mailed, or does it stay with you? With an AA, it goes in the mail. With a CAA, it stays safe in your hands. That's the fundamental choice you're making here. Okay, so now let's look at how that one core difference creates this ripple effect, changing everything from how they work to how much they cost, and most importantly, the risk involved for you. Looking at this side by side, it becomes crystal clear. Yeah, they both charge a fee, but with a CAA, what you're really paying for is peace of mind, a much lower risk profile. And here's why. They file a special certificate of accuracy with your application, which basically tells the IRS, hey, we've checked this. It's legit. That keeps your documents safe and sound with you. But here's the kicker. This is the part most people don't see coming. It's not just about convenience or not losing your passport. Who you choose to help you has a direct and pretty shocking impact on whether your application even gets approved. Just look at these numbers. They're pretty wild. If you mail your application in yourself, there's about a 31% chance it gets rejected. But if you use a CAA, that rejection rate gets sliced in half, dropping all the way down to about 14%. Why? Because an experienced CAA knows exactly what the IRS is looking for and catches all the little errors that could get your application tossed out. So a CAA is clearly a huge help, but look, they do cost money. So what if your budget is tight, but you're still not comfortable mailing your passport? Well, it turns out the IRS has a couple of secret options that are totally free. You can actually go in person to an official IRS Taxpayer Assistance Center, they call them TACs, and an IRS employee will verify your documents for you. Or You can check out a volunteer income tax assistance site, a VITA site, some of which have on-site CAAs who can help you out for free. So both of these free options, tax and VITAs, they give you that same amazing benefit. They verify your documents so you don't have to mail them. The big catch? Availability. They can be really hard to find and even harder to get an appointment with.
And that's the real trade-off. These free services are fantastic, but you're trading money for time and convenience. It can sometimes take weeks just to get an appointment, especially during tax season, and that might not work if you're on a deadline.
So now we've laid out all the paths: mailing it yourself, using an AO, hiring a CAO, or finding a free service. How in the world do you decide which one is right for you? Well, it really just comes down to asking yourself 3 simple questions. First, just be honest with yourself. How do you feel about your passport being in the mail for weeks? Second, what's your budget? Can you spring for a CAA to get that peace of mind and better success rate? And third, just do a quick search. Are there any of those free TAC or VITA sites near you that actually have appointments? Your answers will point you right to your best option. Because in the end, that's what this entire decision boils down to. Every path for getting an ITIN involves a trade-off between your time, your money, and your tolerance for risk. By understanding the huge difference between an AA and a CAA, you can now make a really informed choice that balances those 3 things in a way that works perfectly for you.